It's been covered a lot in the news lately that SNAP benefits have been modified under the Trump administration. You can no longer purchase junk food. And I, for one, couldn't be happier. They've allowed states to make these modifications at the state level. It hasn't been a federal ban, but so far there are several states who have jumped on board.
HHS Secretary RFK Jr. praising the effort during his Maha event.
People can make their own choice about what they're going to buy and what they're not going to buy. If you want to buy a sugary soda, you ought to be able to do that. But the U.S. taxpayer should not pay for it. Up until this point, every USDA secretary has focused on food quantity. This is the first USDA secretary who is focused on food quality.
Once again, I think this is a fantastic idea. The idea is really founded in one simple principle, and I want you to think about this. You take someone out to eat. You sit down and you take a friend out or whatever, and you sit down and you say, if you tell that person, hey, go ahead and get whatever you want, it's on me, I'm going to pick up the tab, then that person can order whatever they want. However, if you're picking up the tab, you have the right to say, hey, I'm only spending 50 bucks. Or if that person starts ordering drinks, you have a right to say, hey, whoa, 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 I only have so much money to spend, so you have to chill out after this next drink. Or you might be able to tell someone, if they go and order something off of the menu that's very, very expensive, you have the right to say, whoa, I didn't budget for that. That's the underlying principle of what it is that we're discussing. This isn't about being mean to poor people or being unfeeling to children or single parents or anything like that. This is about the cost, and there's also this other additional cost that you probably have never even thought about. 12% of SNAP recipients are also on Medicaid. So we already know that if you have a higher percentage of obesity, if your diet is poor, then you're going to be sicker. That's just a common, everyone knows that. So think about that. We're being hit twice as taxpayers. We're picking up the tab for people buying food that's bad for them. And then when they have health complications from their diet, we're also picking up the tab for their doctor's bills. And again, as taxpayers, we have a right to say, as the ones who are picking up this tab, that we don't want to do that. We're not going to do that. So kudos to the Trump administration for stepping up in this particular area. But it reminds me of this video, this other video that I saw, again, single mother, that's, talking about, this whole, criticizing this whole program. Take a look at this.
TikTok, you means to tell me I can't buy no more junk food with my food stamps? Huh? Well, damn, what if I wanted to start my own treats business?
What if I wanted to start my own treat business? So again, think about the mentality of someone to say that. You're going to take free money that's being given to you by the taxpayer, and you want to take that money and start a business. That makes sense to her.
What about my kids' birthdays? I got 5 kids.
You got 5 kids. Again, I don't understand why people go out and make poor decisions and then have the expectation that the rest of us are supposed to pick up the tab. You're correct. You have 5 kids, so you figure out how to feed your 5 kids.
Can't surprise them with a custom carrot cake from Publix or Walmart? What about Halloween? I ain't gonna be able to participate and pass out candy. What about my kids' after school snacks, y'all? My kids gonna be hangry or hungry.
Here's a crazy idea. Instead of getting your kids sugary snacks that are full of high fructose corn syrup and all of these other chemicals, how about get them some fresh fruit? How about get them some fresh vegetables? How about this, single mom of 5? How about you buy some food and actually cook a meal for your kids?
Before I pick them up from after school program. We don't like Olipop sodas and veggie sticks. They nasty.
So we don't care if you think it's nasty. How about that?
And then we can't even buy no hot food with the food stamps. Unless it's a natural disaster.
You know how you can get hot food? You can cook.
I got a question for you, Bretchine or Breachine, because you the one who started all this with your new house bill. Can we still buy seafood with the food stamps? Are you going to make the healthier foods cheaper? If we can't have the junk food, we need the healthy food. Can you make it a little cheaper? Because eggs is $10 a carton. Child, let me go stockpile on these junk foods before the ban starts. Call me back.
Can you make the healthy food cheaper? Again, just this sense of entitlement. How about if you want to feed your family, go out and get a job and feed your family? It is not the job of the rest of us who go to work and work hard and make better choices to subsidize the bad choices of women like this. But here's another woman, she had a different tact. Again, she was, pulling on the heartstrings a little bit more. Take a look at this one.
The USDA's potential ban on buying junk food at SNAP is a horrible idea. Bottom line, there's no nuance. There's no further discussion about it. It is a horrible idea. One, because you're criminalizing poor people and taking their decision-making away. Two, a lot of people who are receiving SNAP benefits do not have access to a grocery store. Where they do most of their grocery shopping is usually a corner store or some small market of that nature. So taking away the little bit of substance they do have because the people at the top don't deem it appropriate and don't think they should use their benefits in that way is wrong.
So you heard that young lady right there. Two really important points I want to cover really quickly about what she said. No one is criminalizing poor people. This is just very, very simply and very basically, individuals who are paying the bill have a right. They have a say-so in how their money is being spent. So no one's criminalizing poor people. You're just telling people who need SNAP benefits, hey, here's some things that you can't buy with SNAP benefits because it's going to cost me as a taxpayer, and then it's going to have an additional cost to me as a taxpayer when you have to go to the doctor. I don't think that's unreasonable. But then number two, she talks about how all the stores that individuals have access to in these neighborhoods are just corner stores. They love to throw around food deserts. But here's a really simple concept. It's all about supply and demand. If people demand fresh fruits and vegetables, then someone or some company will come in and they will provide the supply. That's very, very simple. That's why I've said this on my radio show repeatedly when people talk about food deserts. I always ask, I wonder why there are no liquor deserts in these same neighborhoods. Same thing, supply and demand. So guess what? If you want to have a Kroger's or a Walmart or an Albertsons come into your neighborhood and stay in your neighborhood, number one, you have to go and shop there for the fresh fruits and vegetables that you're saying you don't have access to. And then number two, don't rob the stores so that they have to close. But finally, I just want to touch on this acronym SNAP, the SNAP. They actually stand for something, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. Let's look at these words really quickly. Supplemental. The definition of supplementing something means that you already have something in place and then you're fortifying it with something else. A lot of these people about whom we are discussing, they get 100% of their food budget from their EBT card or their SNAP benefits. So it's not a supplemental program in that regard. You should be providing something to your food budget, and then the EBT is there to supplement it. And then nutritional, that's the N in SNAP. There's nothing nutritional about buying high fructose corn syrup and soda and candy and junk food and all of these other things that the ban is putting in place or preventing people from buying. Most of those things have zero nutritional value. So again, not adhering to that part of it. And again, finally, it's supposed to be an assistance program. You should not be receiving SNAP benefits for your entire life. And even more than that, you certainly shouldn't be receiving SNAP benefits multi-generationally. It shouldn't be grandmother was on SNAP benefits, mother was on SNAP benefits, kid is on SNAP benefits. At some point, if you're experiencing that, if you're on SNAP for your entire life and you're on SNAP multi-generationally, I would suggest that you need to take a really hard look at the decisions that you're making. And I would guess you're probably making some poor decisions if you're on that type of program for your entire life. So I want to introduce a modification to the program and add the letter T. And the letter T is for temporary. We have to put something in place to stress to individuals that this program is temporary. It was never meant to be a lifetime benefit. Understandably, people fall on hard times. Understandably, people's individual circumstances can change, and we should have a robust social safety net, but it should be a safety net, not a hammock. It should be a safety net when you look at a safety net, when you're looking at a trapeze artist or a high wire walker, they have a safety net that catches them, that prevents them from falling and hurting themselves. But the expectation is that they have to get out of the net and get back up there. I say that's the change we need to make. Kudos to the Trump administration.